Send me your answers using the definition of nth root. Remember the definition we just saw is if you have nth root of a exponent n, you can just cancel the exponent and the index, and you're going to find the answer a. Apply this definition and solve these problems here. Send me a message answering letter A, letter B, and letter C. You can choose one of the problems. You can solve and send the answer for all of the problems. All you have to do is apply the definition of nth root, this one here on the top. This definition here on the top. Let me select a couple of students that will send me a message now. Let me select from the list, and I want you to send me a message. So Joshua and maybe Alondra. Joshua and Alondra. If you remember, if you know how to do, write down the answer. You can select the letter A, you can select the letter B or letter C or all, and say the answer to letter A is, and give me the number. Or you can say the answer to letter B is, give me the number. So send me a message now. Alondra and Joshua. Alondra and Joshua, okay? Send me a message now. And if you want, anyone else, if you know the answer, if you want to help them, same thing, send a message. And you can say, the answer for letter C is, and give me the number. Let me see if you know how to apply definition of nth root. Alondra, very good, great. Yes, that's the right answer for letter C. You just need to simplify. You have the index 4 with another 4. Inside the square root, the radicand, I mean the number that you have here is not negative, so you don't need to be worried about. 1/2 is the right answer. Thank you, Alondra. For letter A, same thing, just simplify. 4 with 4, and the answer is 3. For letter B, same procedure, same definition that we are applying. 5 with 5, and pay attention because 5 is an odd number. If it's an odd number, there's no problem in having a negative answer, okay? So if the index and the exponent, they are the same odd number, you can have a negative answer. So the answer here is -2. Any questions? What do you think? Any questions about it? This is a simple application of this definition and finding the answers for different indexes, for different nth roots. Do you understand? Do you need more explanation for that? Is that simple? Yes? No? Okay, thank you, Alondra. Perfect. And you have here a summary of the definition, a few examples. We're going to skip this. Let's go straight to today's topic. Today we will talk about Pythagorean Theorem. And this is something that probably you have seen before a couple of times. But today we will focus on using radicals to solve the Pythagorean Theorem, okay? To apply to solve problems involving Pythagorean Theorem. You know that to apply this formula, you need to have a right triangle. And by right triangle, I don't mean the correct one. I mean the one with the right angle, right? So this is a right angle. This is the right angle. That means 90-degree angle. And if we have the right angle on this corner, that means A and B are the legs. The legs are the sides of the triangle that they make the right angle. So, and the hypotenuse The hypotenuse is the longest side, the side that's opposite to the right angle. The formula is c squared, hypotenuse squared, equals to a squared plus b squared. That's the formula. Now think about radical expressions, right? We have to apply, we have to solve, let's say we don't know the hypotenuse. We want to find out the value of the hypotenuse. So you can apply radical, the square root on both sides of the equation, and the square root have an index 2, it's hidden, but it's here, right? Index 2. And from the on the left hand side, you can simplify, right? You are applying the definition. That means c equals square root of a squared plus b squared. Now we're going to solve an example applying Pythagorean Theorem. To illustrate, and we're going to have a few questions about Pythagorean Theorem as well on the quiz today. Example 7, applying the Pythagorean Theorem. Use the Pythagorean Theorem and the definition of the principal square root to find the length of the unknown sides. And we have the triangle on this side we know is 5. This other side we also know is 13 feet, but we don't know this third side. We need to identify, the first thing you have to do is to identify which one are the legs, which one is the hypotenuse. So let's try to find out. The legs, well, the formula is c squared equals a squared plus b squared, right? This is the formula. The hypotenuse is the longest side, the one opposite to the right angle. This is the right angle, and the hypotenuse is going to be 13 feet. So the other sides, they are the legs. This one we can call A, the other one we can call B, and we can plug in the numbers. Check this. C is 13, 13 squared, equals A is 5, 5 squared, plus B squared. Now we can move at least one, we can move this and keep only B in one of the sides of the equation. So move to the other side. This will move with a negative sign, right? We can rewrite as B squared equals 13 squared is 169. 5 squared is 25. Apply the principal square roots. Let's apply the square root on both sides of the equation. And remember the property here that you will be able to simplify, right? That means B equals square root 169 minus 25, 144. B equals 12 feet. That is the right answer. That's it. I think it's pretty simple. As long as you know what you're doing, you follow the step by step, you identify what are the legs, which one is the hypotenuse, and then at the end you're going to apply the nth root, in this case the square root, to solve the problem. Any questions? Tell me if you have any questions. Tell me if you have any questions at all, because now we're going to practice. Let's move on and work on our quiz. But before, if you have questions, say now, or any comments, any complaints, anything at all. Before working. Moving on to the quiz. Let's try to solve this. Solve our bell work. What do you think? And you can apply the Pythagorean Theorem. Try to find the legs. Try to find the hypotenuse. And you're going to be able to apply the Pythagorean Theorem. Okay? Send me the messages. Tell me now, what is the answer? Well, to find the answer, we need to find first the distances, okay? We know that the boat that's going up, heading north, is moving at 6 miles per hour. And they are traveling, they are sailing for 2 hours. If they are sailing for 2 hours, you're going to multiply 6 miles per hour times 2, right? 2 hours. And you're going to find 6 times 2, 12 miles. This is the distance the first boat traveled. Now the second boat, the second is traveling at 8 miles per hour. And we have to find the distance. It's going to be 8 miles per hour times 2 hours. 8 times 2, 16 miles. Okay? We want to find the distance between the boats. So it's this distance here. And we don't know. We want to find this distance. Just have a look at the whole screen. Give a few steps back. Look at the whole screen. And you're going to say, yes, this looks like a triangle, right? This looks like a triangle. We have the right angle here. This is 90 degrees. And looks like a right triangle. The hypotenuse is going to be the longest side, which is this, the unknown. And the legs are 12. One of the legs is 12, the other one is 16. And we realized we have the right triangle, we found the hypotenuse and the legs, we can apply the formula, the Pythagorean formula. C equals square root of a squared plus b squared. We don't know C, we know A is 12, 12 squared. We know B is 16, 16 squared. That means C equals, we are trying to find C, 144 plus 256. This is square root of 400. C equals 20. 20 is the right answer. 20 is the right answer. 20 miles. So fill out 20 on Microsoft Forms. Miles is already here. The bell work reply, the bell work correct answer is 20 miles. Now let's work on today's quiz, okay? Today, the first part of the quiz is to simplify expressions, assume all variables positive real numbers. And the second is find the missing length. The second part, you have a couple of applications of Pythagorean Theorem, okay? Let's work on letter A. To simplify, we will apply the definition of the nth root. Remember the definition? This is equals to A. Most of the time, that's what you can apply. And sometimes you have to check if you have A negative, if you have N as an even number, then you need to check it out. But most of the time, this is what you have to apply. Let's apply here on letter A. the square root, the index is 2, right? So we can rewrite this as x, y squared, and this whole thing is squared, right? If you look, you can simplify 2, the index 2 with the exponent 2, and you find the answer, x, y squared. Think a little bit about this. We have 2 as the index, and we actually divided each exponent on the factors by the index 2. See? We divide 2 by 2, 1, divide 4 by 2, 2, and found the final answer. That's what you're going to do. Identify all the factors and check the exponents. See if you can divide by the index and simplify and find the answer. Okay? We are trying to find on letter M the hypotenuse. And the hypotenuse is always the longest side. See? You're going to find a number that is larger, is greater than 12, is greater than 5, and is also greater than 12, because the hypotenuse is always the longest side. The formula is c squared equals a squared plus b squared. And we know the legs. One leg is 5, another leg is 12. So one leg is 5, another is 12. We can apply the square. Let me c squared is 25 plus 144. We can apply the square here and there and simplify. That means c equals square root of 169. And you can use your calculator. Then you find c equals 13 feet. And compare, see, 13 is greater than 12, is greater than 5. Fine. Yeah, Australian, that's right. That's right. For letter N, we will apply again a Pythagorean Theorem, the formula, but check this out. Now what's missing? This is the right angle, and we have the hypotenuse is opposite to the right angle. This is one leg, this is another leg. Now what's missing is one of the legs. So when you apply the formula, c squared equals a squared plus b squared, you're going to substitute the values. We have c, 26 squared. You have a, 10 squared. We don't have b. Now it's slightly different. Let's move this 10 squared to the other side. It will become a negative. Okay? So 26 squared minus 10 squared equals b squared. Now apply the square roots on both sides. And here you can simplify. You can use a calculator, and then you're going to find 26 squared minus 10 squared, and take the square root. At the end, you will find, if I'm not wrong, check if I'm wrong or not. That is 24 meters. Those are letter M and N. We show the whole thing. Yes, because now we are working on one of the legs. See? This is a leg. The longest one is the hypotenuse. This is the longest one. The hypotenuse is always the longest one. So the leg needs to be less, is a bit less than the hypotenuse. Okay, Timothy? The first thing, identify where the hypotenuse is and who the legs are, and then you can start to work. It's very important to identify the hypotenuse first and then the legs. Thank you, Jorge, for the questions. Thank you. Very good questions.